I would like to hand over the stage to the moderator of this panel discussion, Dr. Adel Sharji, COO of Presight. And please allow me to welcome our esteemed panelists in no particular order. Mr. Talal Al-Qaisi, CEO of G42 Cloud. Mr. Naeem Yazbek, UAE General Manager for Microsoft. Mr. Walid Yahya, UAE General Manager for Dell. And last but not least, Mr. Usama Dahabi, CEO of Injazat.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to this panel discussion on laying the road for national-scale digital transformation. I am Dr. Adel Sharji, the Chief Operating Officer of Presight, a G42 company. I am honored to moderate today's panel discussion. If you are unfamiliar, Presight is the MENA region leading big data analytics company powered by AI. We leverage all source data through our 10 flagship solutions and over 100 AI models to support a wide range of clients across the globe, empowering them to extract insights that support data-driven decision-making. We are proud to be working to boost digital infrastructure, cloud, and digital transformation in the UAE, helping to enable the region to emerge as a global hub for innovation. Digital transformation is no longer just a buzz phrase, but a necessity for countries and companies looking to stay ahead in today's competitive market. Through our esteemed panelists, we will unpack insights into the latest trends, challenges, opportunities, and a broader outlook on digital transformation. Let's begin. I want to start with you, Talal. With your extensive experience in digital transformation and your current position as the CEO of G42 Cloud, I think you are well positioned to give us a view into the future here. G42 Cloud has really been leading the evolution of the cloud industry. It's the largest and most powerful cloud platform in the region and the UAE sovereign cloud provider. I'm eager to hear your unique perspective on this topic.
Thank you, Dr. Adel. And let me first start by thanking the Office of the Minister of Artificial Intelligence for the opportunity to be here and share with you some of our experiences and what we do at G42 Cloud, specifically in my case. To look into the future, I don't think we need a crystal ball to extrapolate that the requirement for compute, storage, and network, the three main pillars of cloud, are going to only increase as time goes by, especially with what we just saw by the group CTO of G42, Kirill, in his presentation. We know that AI, as the brain power of humanity in being able to augment human intelligence, and then data as the food that fuels, as Kirill put it, AI, is going to require muscle power. And that's where the infrastructure comes in, and that's what cloud is predominantly about. And the compute infrastructure is only going to need to grow, and that data is only going to increase in sensitivity when you start training these large language models and particularly position them to support different industry verticals rather than just be more of a generic capability that people can leverage. I think what OpenAI did is incredible in putting AI, which was to most people an abstract thing, in people's hands to show and demonstrate the power of it. But what we are seeing the trajectory move towards is more how you apply those large language models to industries like healthcare, for instance, applying NLP to read genomics, how you apply it to financial services, how you apply it to energy and other industries as well. Each one of these industries are predicated on having proprietary data sets that need to be protected the same way you would protect national security data. And for that, the niche that G42 Cloud has operated in has been sovereignty and enabling the data sovereignty in the context of cloud. So when we look at it comparatively speaking to many of the other cloud service providers or the hyperscalers, as they call them, we can all coexist, but there are only a certain level of controls that could be put in place to enable and assure compliance and regulatory authorities of sovereignty in terms of not just having data resident within a country, but important data sets protected within the country. And so what we've evolved into as a cloud provider or a cloud service provider is an enabler of data sovereignty and digital sovereignty. And now we are looking at expanding what we have been doing for the past few years in that domain and looking at the increase of the consumption that's going to be required to find ways to maximize that optionality. So we're working closely with Naeem here and Microsoft team on figuring out how we could best come up with the construct to enable, become more of a national cloud enabler and a sovereign cloud enabler than rather than just a sovereign cloud provider as a cloud service company. So this is something we're very excited about, and that's kind of the direction that we are looking to explore more.
Thank you, Talal. Now turning over to Naeem. As the UAE General Manager of Microsoft, I am interested in hearing your thoughts on the outlook of digital transformation, especially considering the recent partnership between G42 and Microsoft that focuses on the development of the public sector and industry-focused solutions to power the UAE digital economy and build its digital infrastructure.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Adel, and thanks everyone for being here and for giving me the opportunity to talk today. I just want to start by saying I think we're definitely living at a unique moment of time, but also in a very special place. I think we're pretty lucky to be in a country where the aspirations on innovations have no limits. At a time where the world is challenged economically from east to west, we're still seeing investment in this place. We're still seeing the UAE pushing the boundaries on innovation. And of course, technology is playing a key role. As I said, we're living at a time where digital transformation, as much as a cliche is becoming, but the fact that everything is becoming digital, it's only going to increase. If we look at everything around us, everything is becoming digital. And as Talal said, the cloud is going to enable the next level of digital transformation. I mean, to start with, if we look at AI and what's happening in AI, to even think of AI, you need the cloud. And the cloud, from a Microsoft perspective, we started that journey in the UAE 4 years back. The UAE region, from a data center perspective, has been one of the most successful in the world. We had a lot of customers benefiting from that kind of technology in order to advance their digital transformation agenda. And what we've realized over the past couple of years is that there are some regulated industries and sometimes some non-regulated industries that are bringing the topic of sovereignty. And that's what we've been discussing with Talal and Group 42, is that how can we bring the sovereignty value add, the knowledge of Group 42, as well as the capabilities of Microsoft, put them together in a way where we can offer the market a unique value proposition around that aspect. And we're definitely pretty excited about what's coming on that front. I think also on artificial intelligence in specific, and I said we're living in a unique moment of time. I think this is the first time where AI at scale is definitely not hallucination. This is real. If you see what's happening with GPT in general, it's mind-blowing. We just started scratching the surface. what's coming is even more mind-blowing, I would say, from that perspective. And, technology will evolve at a very, very high pace. And I'm not confused. Competition will come. There'll be competitive products into the market. I think we're in a unique situation where we're leading the way. And of course, we're proud of that. And I encourage every organization to jump into the learning curve on really what is this new wave of AI is. Because waiting and see until things are more mature, things are more complete, organizations are going to miss a huge opportunity of learning, trying, see what will work, see what doesn't work. And most important, into using that learning curve to skill their people and embed in their culture a data-driven and an AI-driven culture. Because we've always been saying over the past 15 years that companies that embrace digital are going to be the companies that succeed. And I think history have proven that. And I'm confident today that the future of success in organization, whether they're in the private sector or in the public sector, it's going to be how much organizations are leveraging data and AI. There's no confusion about that at this point of time. So we're pretty excited to what's happening in the UAE. I think the opportunity here is very special. As I said, being in a place where aspirations on innovation have no limit, it's an opportunity, but it's a responsibility at the same time. And as a representative of an organization that is now pushing the AI boundaries, I would really like every person and every organization to think of AI ethics very seriously. As much as this technology is exceptionally rewarding, as much as this technology is exceptionally promising, misuse of this technology can be extremely dangerous. And as you see today, if you're even using ChatGPT as an example, you're seeing we're putting lots of boundaries about trying not to allow people to misuse the technology. But like anything else, this can happen. I think it's up to us as people in the industry to put the right governance and, honestly, more important, the right mindset, because no governance, no policies are going to stop people from misusing any technology. It's the culture we create and our opportunities that will differentiate us between how to use this technology for the benefit of a human being, for the benefit of our organizations, for the benefit of the country, and versus people misusing the technology for really not the right use. So I'm excited for what's coming. I'm honestly excited of partnerships we're talking about, like the ones Talal and myself have been talking about. I'm excited of what Microsoft and other technology players are going to bring. Competition is going to push everyone into that space, and I can assure you that what's coming is going to be very exciting. So I think jumping into that learning curve is going to be crucial.
Thank you. Thank you for your insights, Naeem. Now over to Walid. G42 also launched a partnership with Dell to help boost digital transformation in the UAE using cloud technology. So as the UAE General Manager of Dell, what is your forecast on that space based on Dell's work beyond the UAE on a national scale? I'm curious about your outlook.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm really delighted and honored to be with you today. I think everyone is in agreement that the outlook is very positive. What we've seen in the last few years that the IT spending, enterprise IT spending, is growing at double-fold of the GDP growth. And thank God we are in a country where GDP is very positive, and that's a sign of the strong leadership we have in this country. And the outlook is very positive for a number of reasons, and I will come to your question about the collaboration with G42, but I would just want to share with you how do we see the future as well. The future is very positive due to a number of reasons. Number one is we have a very smart and very ambitious and progressive government that is putting in place a set of policies and laws, and also is driving a lot of initiatives. Let's not forget that in this market, the public sector spending presents around 40% of the enterprise IT spending. So that there is a lot that the government is really contributing to, not only from governance and but also from actual initiatives in the country. We have a good infrastructure ecosystem when it comes to the cloud. And the way we look at the cloud is actually, we've been talking about multi-cloud since very long time. And this is actually what G42 is bringing to the market. I'm talking about the G42 group. They are bringing that multi-cloud, the choice to the different users to actually choose the best, I would say, landing zone for their specific workload. So that's a capability that is not easy to find in other markets. And that's actually one of the key collaboration areas we're working with G42 on. But we also have serious players in the AI, and Presight is one of them. Data is the fuel of the future, as we mentioned in the previous session. But in parallel to this, let me share with you also a study we have conducted as Dell with a third-party consulting. It's a global study where we, during the pandemic, we asked more than 4,000 leaders across the world, including UAE, around how they see the future, and also whether they have an they started their digital transformation initiatives or not. On average, 80% of the enterprises in the world have in place some form or shape of digital transformation. Guess what? In UAE, it was 90%. All right. So it just gives you an idea about how progressive this market is. We also see that the 5G is also developing rapidly, more, I would say, rapidly than other places. And this adds to the availability of the infrastructure that will drive this positive outlook in the country. The government is having a very ambitious also education plan. Talents and the talent pool is a key thing for this progressive, I would say, plans that the government has. So all of this together really gives us a very positive outlook on the future. Where we are with G42, we are working with G42 very closely on that multi-cloud strategy that G42 is adopting. On the AI piece and the data management piece is something very important. When it comes to multi-cloud specifically, one of the areas we see that is needed is to create that seamless user experience, regardless of what cloud landing zone that the customers are going to use. We believe every customer will need hyperscaler, will need a community cloud, a government cloud, or a private cloud. All of this together will deliver to what the customer future needs will be. So last thing, we actually see that there will be a number of key technologies, and I think Carol already kind of referenced them. AI and ML is definitely key, but let's not forget edge as well. Edge computing and the, moving the AI, the intelligence to the edge. Keep in mind, 70% of the data by 2030 will be created and generated at the edge. There will be a lot of use cases where you need to make a decision right at the edge, not to wait until you actually send the data back to the cloud or to the back end. The data management is key. Multi-cloud management is key. 5G is going to be important. And last but not least, security is important. And UAE is leading in that security space as well. They have a nice and strong infrastructure, not only from a technology perspective, but also from a organizational and talent pool perspective. So all of this together is really helping that very positive outlook that we see. And of course, we're very proud and happy with the collaboration that we have with G42 Group. Thank you.
Thank you, Walid. Osama, as the CEO of Injazat, a G42 company that is known as the regional leader in digital transformation, who has created a robust partnership network in the field, what is your perspective here?
First of all, thank you very much, Doctor, for the invitation. And good morning, everybody. So this is incredibly exciting, but it's also scary. It's also intimidating. And this is exactly my job. My job is to work with you and my clients on really simplifying the complex choices that you have, and really big choices that you have to take to transform your business and adopt these cool and incredibly powerful technologies. And we work with our clients from the beginning of the design all the way to the build and operate. And of course, we can't do this without very strong partnerships with all of the technology providers. So this panel is incredible because I work with every single one from Naeem, Yahya, Halal, and Dr. Adil on many engagements with our clients. So this is essentially what we do as digital transformation. We're a partner for our clients to help them through that journey. But if I may also think of what would change in the next 5 to 10 years, I'd say, number one, we will all have incredibly more powerful tools in our hands. I mean, we're already cyborgs by an extension of the smartphones that we use. But imagine we will have smartphones that are connected to incredibly powerful AIs. These are tools that will give us almost superhuman power. Second, I think our relationship with machine will be different. And I say relationship because, we talked for a while about sensors and Internet of Things, but I think in the next few years, we will see, those machines really more integrated in our daily lives, from sensors to robots, all connected to these powerful AI models. And the last thing I think is data privacy, security, and ethics around the use of these powerful models and powerful systems is going to become even more important than today. So these are big things and very exciting times ahead of all of us. But I think the most important message is the need to take action and to be bold as soon as possible.
Thank you, Osama. Now we'll shed light on the second part of this panel. Quickly, in less than 60 seconds, Halal, what's prevent organizations and governments from taking the shift to digital transformation?
So I would say there's very little to prevent them from taking the shift. There is sometimes hesitation of trying new technology, or the mentality of if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. But in our case, we see that most organizations embrace, once they know the general value that they'd be able to induce in terms of either cost optimization or enablement, they tend to typically jump on the opportunity to take advantage of what we provide in digital transformation and enablement. So I'm not too concerned. And it helps that we live in a country where, obviously, with the Office of the Minister of Artificial Intelligence, this has been an open lab environment for multiple different companies to come and experiment. And we don't hesitate from doing that. So there's a natural inclination for most companies to try things, even if they know that there's a high degree of potential that could be a failure. There's no shame in failing and trying and iterating on the approach till you get something right. From our perspective as the compute cloud provider, we know that this is only going to grow, as I mentioned earlier, and so we're constantly ensuring our readiness and how we reinvent ourselves and how we maximize optionality by building strong partnerships with the likes of Dell, Microsoft, and others.
How about Naeem? What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, look, I think with the focus of the whole world on this, I think more technologies and more skills are going to be available, and organizations in the UAE are going to push the boundaries. I would argue that government in the UAE, compared to governments around the world, they're way ahead. And I think they will only get to use the technology in a much more advanced way. I think in the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to see mass adoption of AI, and hence the infrastructure that powers the AI. So I think the UAE is in a good track when it comes to digital transformation in general.
Thank you. About you, Walid?
Yeah, so I'll answer the question from the actually other side. I'll share with you my personal observation on the digital leaders. What good looks like for digital leaders. Digital leaders on the organization, they have 4 characteristics. I'm going to go through them very quickly. Some of them have already been mentioned by my colleagues. They have a strong strategy based on a strong vision, but a strategy that understands also their weaknesses and how to overcome their weaknesses. Second, they have a culture, as a strong culture that does not actually perceive failure as the opposite of success. Failure is actually the way to succeed over time, and they are not afraid of trying new ideas. Talent, as mentioned by Naeem, is a very important topic, not only within the IT, I'm talking about at the organization level. And they have the financial, I would say, vision, and they are visionary, and they are able to spend on that digital transformation. That's on the organizational level. On the IT level, they have a strong multi-cloud strategy and data management framework. They can design quickly, they can deliver quickly, and they can protect what they have already brought to the market. That's, in a nutshell, how digital leaders look like.
Thank you. Thank you, Walid. Osama, in 10 seconds.
I mean, I agree with everything that's been said, but if I want to add maybe one additional context is, I mean, the technology that's coming is so powerful that it will stir some basic human instincts, fear and greed. So I think this is with all the data policies and privacy, the partnership between the public sector and the private sector, all of these things will be very important to, deal with the most basic instincts of fear and greed.
Thank you, Osama. Thank you all for your candor and for sharing your expertise. I am honored to have spent this time with you, and I'm especially proud of our homegrown capabilities and investments in our local economies and beyond. It is an exciting time to be working in this space, and I look forward to follow what comes next for all of you and the great things we achieve through technology. Thank you all.
Thank you.